So in this video, let's have a discussion on whether or not premiums are worth it, whether you should buy one, or just stay free to play. So I want to be perfectly clear on something. Um, it's your money at the end of the day, so use it how you want to. This is just my thoughts and opinions on it. However, that being said, there are timestamps or chapters in the description box and on the play button thing, whatever you would call that. Um, so if you don't care about listening to what I have to say and just want to say the tech tree that you're interested in, then go ahead and skip over. However, if you are new to the game, I recommend listening to what I'm about to say. With that being said, let's actually get into what I was going to say. So if you are brand new to this game, and when I say brand new, I mean you're installing the game while watching this video type new. I would never recommend anyone spending money on this game, no matter what, at that level. Alright? And the reason that I say that is several of them, actually. Reason one, you don't know if you're going to enjoy this game. Reason two, you just got the game, you don't know how to play the game. And circling back to reason one, you don't know if you're even going to enjoy it still. Reason three, buying a premium, you get bullied for buying a premium when you're a low level, especially if you're below a certain level, which is really stupid in my opinion, that people bully others for buying a premium. But, you know, it is what it is. People are going to be people. Can't really stop anything. Can't really do anything about it, really. But, you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, those are kind of the three reasons that I have for you. However, if you can, I do recommend going to a friend's house that has a high level account and playing on their account. You know, sitting at their computer, playing on their controller or whatever, and playing the game and seeing if you actually like it. And the reason that I say do that is because you have an idea that yes, you are going to enjoy this game. You really like modern tanks. You want modern tanks. So just keep that in mind when, you know, looking at premiums or whatever. Don't buy a premium until you're at least level 20. Have that as your goal. Because wasting money is never a good thing, right? And if you start playing this game, and let's say you play it for a week, and you decide that you don't want to play it anymore, but you've spent $70 on a premium, then you just wasted $70, right? So just keep that in mind. Anyway, on to the actual premium stuff. So starting off with U.S. ground and moving on to U.S. air. Now, honestly, the M1 KVT and the Wolfpack together, try to get both of them together, would probably be okay to get. Maybe one of these as well, but it really depends on their price, and that's just, you know, kind of my opinion on it. Um, the reason that I would recommend getting a 10.3 and a 10.0, or 4, or 2, or at least 2 vehicles, is because you're grinding out the tech tree. The premiums will grind it out faster than the, the premiums grind your tech tree faster than your tech tree, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, I would recommend a M1 KVT and a Wolfpack together. Especially if you can catch them on sale. Save up your golden eagles to buy this. I think it was like 7,500 or something like that. It was on up there. It was almost 10,000. It was pretty close to 10,000. So just keep that in mind. I can't see the price because I've already purchased it, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. This is like 50 bucks or 60 bucks. I forget which. But it's not that cheap when it's full price. Right now, the sale is on and it is like 30 bucks. It is cheap at the moment to get this thing. However, I wouldn't really recommend getting it because the US tree is kind of bad, which is sad. But again, do what you want to. Now, moving on to air. So now we're moving on to my domain, air. Unfortunately, they took out the AV8A. This was gifted to me. So, I have it. If it was still available for purchase, I would recommend this. Because it's a pretty decent grinder. And it's at that battle rating where it is good enough to get you to what is pretty close to top tier. Anyway, so AV8A is gone. A10A, however, is still in the game. For what it is, it's good. But as far as a cast plane, I wouldn't recommend it. Cast and ground is kind of a pain in the ass anyway, so, you know. But there's been things that's changed. It's slow. It only goes 400 and something miles an hour. It is slow. It's been basically, it's just not as fun to play an A10 as it was a year ago. Basically, it's still a decent plane if you want to, take out a load of bombs or missiles, air to ground missiles or whatever. But I wouldn't recommend this plane for a grinder. I would recommend it for just a aircraft that you like, I guess. The F5C. It's a 10-3. It's a dogfighter. Gunfighter, I should say. Um, it's not the easiest plane to fly. It's not something that I would really recommend to a new player. However, it is a fun plane to fly. You can do pretty damn good with this if you know what you're doing. If you get this and you learn it, then you can do really good with it. The A6E Tram. Or the Intruder. It's like the A10A. It's a little faster than the A10. This is a ground attack vehicle. That's what it's for. It's a ground pound vehicle. It's not that great for anything else. So, if you want it for that, by all means, get it for that. But, honestly, I would skip over it. Now, here's the plane that I used to grind the entirety of the US tree. It is the S4S Phantom 2. It sets at a battle rating of 11.3. It is $70 at full price. It is currently $35. Is it worth it? Yeah, to me. It's still a Phantom. Just remember that. It's a Phantom. It is not an F-16. You're not going to outturn things. You're not going to outrun things. It's a slow, heavy bird. It is a missile bus. You get kills with this thing from your missiles, not your gun, which is a gun pod on top of that. So just keep that in mind. But it's still one of my favorite planes, and it's a plane that, honestly, if you're going to get a premium for the US, as far as plane, I would say get the F4S. Now, the F-28. Essentially, it's an F5 with an F-18 engine and an F-18 radar. The chassis is that of an F5. So it handles like an F5. So, is it worth that? I wouldn't say so. It's not worth $75, that's for damn sure. Now moving on to Germany. So this portion of it is going to be relatively quick because I don't really play Germany all that much. Starting with their ground vehicles. If you can get them, I would recommend getting the Leopard 2. Panzer, whatever the hell that is. Panzer Battalion. This thing. I can't pronounce their tanks. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't pronounce 90% of what the vehicles are. Alright. The Leopard. I think someone finally told them, Germany, we need to make a vehicle that someone besides us can actually pronounce. So they decided to name it the Leopard. It doesn't look like a leopard to me. It looks like a tank. But, you know, it is what it is, right? This thing, I don't really know much about it. It looks like it would be pretty good. Looks kind of like the Wolfpack. So, you know. Again, I don't play Germany. I'm not going to say yay or nay on anything in this tree because I don't play Germany. So, it's not my department. I don't play them. Yeah. I'm just going to skip over it. If you are going to play Germany, for whatever reason, this MiG-21 would be a good choice. However, it's a MiG-21. Just keep that in mind. It is a MiG-21. So, you know, at the end of the day, MiG-21s are MiG-21s. They're not that great. They're not that bad. Anyway, on to Russia. So, the funny thing about Russia is it's the exact opposite of my US tree. So, on the US, I have 5 premiums. And all but 1 are air. On USSR, I have 5 premiums. All but 1 are ground. So, that just kind of tells you a little bit. That's kind of weird, right? Now, I bought this thing years ago. I mean, years ago. Alright, let me just... Yeah. It's sort of rare to see them, but it's not that rare. I've seen a couple when I play low tier. I love this thing. But, yeah, that's just kind of me. Now, as far as the premiums that I currently own in ground, I got the T-72AV, T-72AV Terms T, which I don't know what the Terms T stands for, but whatever. I also bought the 2S38. I always want to call it the 2Z38. I don't know why. And, of course, the T80UD. Now, the T80UD does not have thermals. That's the only thing that I really don't like about it, but besides that, it's fine. The T-72, it has less armor, it's a little slower, but it has thermals. So there's that. This thing, you can reach out and touch things at 2, 3, 4 kilometers in the air. I've done it. I've got a helicopter kill now, if I can actually talk. That is about 4 kilometers, give or take. So yeah. And I've also got an A10 that I severely damaged that counted as a kill that I hit at 3.1. So there's that. Now, as far as jets, again, if you're getting a grinder, I would stay away from the SU-25K and the SU-39. They're good jets for what they are, but they're not good for grinding the actual tech tree. This one plus the SU-25, it's a tier 6, so it will only grind you up to tier 7. The MiG-23ML, even though it's been nerfed, is still a good plane. I would recommend getting the MiG-23ML. If you haven't played it before, you won't know what has been nerfed. You'll learn how to play it and be better at it than I am, because I'm used to how it used to fly. I'm not used to how it flies now. With that being said, on to Britain. I cannot say anything about Britain because I will never play Britain. Honestly, it's whatever. If they had something that was actually good, in my opinion, then I would, talk more about them, and I would actually play them. But I don't really have much of a reason to play Britain because they have nothing all that special. Both ground and air, they have nothing really all that special. With the most recent update, they got the Bison, which is a MiG-21, at 11.7. You're going to be basically, like, if you get this, you're going to struggle. It's 11.7. It's going to be a struggle bus. The ground vehicles, honestly, I don't know anything about them other than the Challengers. I know they can be pretty good, but honestly, I don't like Britain. Alright? Someone else that plays Britain could give you a recommendation on it. I don't play Britain, so I'm not going to give a recommendation on anything. Japan. Starting with ground. If you can, then perhaps get these two. I mean, you're not going to regret having a 4-second reload on the Fuji if you get that. But then that's the only one that they have at 11.0. At least here you have two vehicles that are the same battle rating. But 9.3 is pretty cancerous, so, it is what it is. As far as air, the F4 EJ Kai, or whatever, I think that's actually the tech tree, yeah, the tech tree variant. The F4 EJ Phantom 2, whatever thing, premium, it's a Phantom. Again, it's a Phantom. It's gonna fly like a Phantom, it's gonna play like a Phantom, so just keep that in mind. If you can, then get this and put a talisman on it. It will help you grind the entire tree. But, that's just, yeah. China. China has nothing special, in my opinion. I can't speak for it because I don't play China. I don't care to play China. And that is my choice. So, if you can get to 10 vehicles, then do so. That's just, I don't play China, so I can't really give my opinion on it that much. As far as air, this is essentially a MiG-21. The J-7D is a MiG-21. It looks like a MiG-21. It flies like a MiG-21. The picture looks like a MiG-21. It's a MiG-21. So, you know. Um, Honestly, if you're gonna play China in the air, just play US or USSR. Because the J-11 is literally just a copy and paste of the Su-27M. The J-11A is just a copy and paste. This one is supposed to be a little better because it has the better missiles, but it's still the same plane. The F-16A, it's an F-16A. It's the same as the other F-16s. It's a frickin' F-16. So just keep that in mind. Now, that's just my opinion on this tree. I'm probably never going to play it, although I might eventually play it after I've, maxed out the rest of my trees that I actually care about. But, yeah. On to Italy. I can't really say anything about Italy because, again, I don't really play Italy. I play very, very low BR Italy. In fact, I haven't even touched Italy ground. I've only played air. And honestly, I can't give my opinion on stuff like this because they don't interest me. Alright? Are they good? In their own right, yes, they may be good. But every time I'm in a ground match, I check my scoreboard. I see Italy maybe 1 out of 10 times. In air, kind of the same thing. I would never recommend, honestly, flying something that has this as their top tier. Like, Italy kind of got screwed on this update, but, it's kind of whatever at the same time. Um, yeah, it's just, I don't think Italy's all that great, but that's just me. Right, on to France. So, I don't like France. Nothing here really has, like, catches my eye. Um, so, yeah. It's up to you, but just like with Italy, I check my scoreboard. I see France maybe 1 out of 7 times, give or take. 1 out of 5. Like, it's not that much. Same with the air. There's nothing really awesome in the air. I mean, the F1C, the Mirage F1C 200, it's a pretty good plane. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty damn good plane, but it's nothing spectacular. They love their Mirages. Alright, and now they do have the Belgium tree. They have the entirety of a Belgium tree now. Which is kind of cool, I guess, but, it also kind of whatever. Um, so, yeah. On to Sweden. Now on to good old Sweden. And honestly, starting with the army, That was getting annoying. Starting with their ground, I can't really say yes or no, but honestly, if I was going to get anything, I would get these three. The 10-3 Christian 2, the 10-0 whatever the hell this is, and the 10-0 whatever the hell this thing is. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the air. Honestly, people say that the Griffin is one of the best planes in the game right now, but I don't know. So, just keep that in mind. But, it kind of is what it is. Anyway, I guess on to Israel. So, Israel, honestly, is US 2.0. It really is. Like, it gets called that all the time, and it's kind of true. Because it has a lot of US stuff. The the M51, for example, that's a US tank. It's a Sherman. I think it's, pretty sure it's like a 6.3 in the US tree, but it's a 6.0 in here. I don't really play Israel that much. It's just not a nation that I care for, personally. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not one that I really care for. One good thing about it is you start out at 6.0, and you don't have a reserve. So you get 3 lives on the M51 and the Sakina. But other than that, there's really nothing special about them. But speaking of the Sakine, there's honestly no reason to play Israel ground, by the way. Speaking of the Sakine, it's actually a pretty decent aircraft for what it is. It's not that great, but it's not that bad. As far as like the air tree, it's the smallest air tree in the game. Alright, it is the smallest air tree in the game. However, let's see. That looks like a Sabre. That is the F-100 Sabre. Super Sabre. That's a Mirage. That's a Mirage. The Kafir is just a friggin' Mirage, basically. This is an F-16. I mean, it even says the F-16. This is an F-4 Phantom, because it literally says the F-4E. Separate is called the Kamas, which is pretty decent, I guess. And then you have the F-15 and the other F-15. Now, I don't recommend playing Israel. Just play USA. They're not really all that good. They're not really worth it, in my opinion. But, again, my opinion. So, you know. Anyway, I guess final thoughts. So I didn't really give my opinion too much on certain nations. However, the ones that I play are the ones that I can give my opinion on more. The ones that I don't play, I don't have really the right to give my opinion on. So yeah, honestly, that's kind of my 2 cents on all the premiums and factories. But with that being said, if you made it to this point in the video, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Do me a favor, and hit that like button if you would. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already, and when you subscribe, hit that little bell icon. Make sure you put it to all, so you get notified when I actually do upload videos. Because if you don't, YouTube may tell you that I uploaded a video, but it may be days after I actually upload a video. Yeah, it's stupid like that, I know. Anyway, I'll catch you.